There we go. And second game of the match between Run Forest Run and Sick Tactics B is gonna be starting. We're gonna be putting off the Fog of War, and where are actually the choke points, and where are gonna be the belief fights. Okay, so this is looking like a belief fight about this position at the top. Ah, that's good news. Empathy, that actually Mateus plays Black Forest a lot. So that should be quite interesting to actually see him play here. So far, this is gonna be just scout against a scout. Villagers are gonna be coming forward. 3 of them for green. For yellow. Oh, here we go. Okay, so green is not underestimating anything. He's sending 3 villages, as Dark Device is sending just 2. So Dark Device potentially could still be faster, but it's gonna be depending if he's actually gonna be greedy or not. Oh well, he is greedy, and he is completely screwed. Even though the Wolfie is an issue. If he actually used the opportunity, he could have actually be used quite nicely, but well, not anymore. So that was interesting right there, but he needs right now to retreat, because of course, quick walling, one hell of a quick walling, almost worked. Oh, come on, can he get it at? Come on. He needs to somehow get the ball there, come on. Right now you guys you probably have the opportunity, but he's not gonna be taking it. That's gonna be yellow scout gone, this village is gonna be gone as... Why is he actually fighting with him in there? Oh well, so it's gonna be 2 villages dead right about now for Dark Device. This is absolutely brutally bad start for him. Oh man, and let's have a look somewhere else where apparently there weren't really all that many fights. It seems like the basic Spring was able to finish with its falling quite fine without any kind of problem whatsoever. It seems like that Kanala wasn't thinking about doing anything all that much right about now. No, they cannot rare. There is no rare in RTS League, so basically it's all about playing it safe in the start, as you cannot really risk to go, or rather for anything to go wrong all that much. But this is definitely not such a great start. That, of course, yellow was open for Snake Slayer. Well, aka Mateus did go for a bit better option with one more villager, and that definitely helped him in the early fight in here. But still, the volume is finally up. It cost 1 scout, it cost a villager. I'm not exactly sure if the second villager died as well, but I think so. He's probably gonna be under the wall, somewhere in there. So that was working quite fine. Of course, for the green player, and he's already gonna be having advantage this early in the game. So that's probably gonna be transforming into quite a significant one a bit later. So there's that. That is that. And how's it looking with the amount of villages then? Snake Slayer at 11. Dark Device is at 10, so they are having, of course, a bit of a difference in there, as they went with plenty of villages in there. Oh, Doc, did I see that correctly? I think I did. That was Doc coming up, and the Doc is coming up by Zing, actually. He's having 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, actually 6, wow. 6 shortfish is actually pretty good. That's definitely dockable. I seem to remember that actually about 3 to 4 is already dockable, but 6, wow. That's quite good, that's quite good. I don't think they have any kind of pond like this RFRs on their side. You can see they are having 2 here. There's another pond with another... Oh, that's actually triple. That could be already worthwhile at this point. So nothing really all to underestimate all that much, as the second pond is having just 1 fishy. So yeah, they basically just made up for that. Having 1 and having about 6 in here. That's really pretty good boost for Zing's economy. And he's gonna be quite happy about that in the minutes to come. And of course... we are also interested how the other walling is gonna be coming. In the meantime, of course, Kanala has finished with the walling without any kind of early fight with Spring. They didn't want anything like that, but there is still a way through into the middle. And oh, somebody's fighting double wolfies. Not good, but with the help, of course, from the healer. Even though he cannot heal himself, it's gonna be quite fine at this point, as probably right now Snake Slayer is just waiting in there, potentially to disrupt the villager and kill him, and maybe help the wolfie a bit. Oh well. Not anymore. It seems like he's gonna be missing the opportunity that he was exactly waiting for in there. As well, he is so far not really sending all that many villagers right now. Wow, he's sending 4 villagers. 4 villagers into the middle. He's probably gonna be using this. I'm expecting he's gonna be finishing the wall about here so that he can potentially continue with a mill on the berries, because otherwise that's quite an overkill. With the 4 villagers coming forward, as the 1 villager is gonna be helping, of course, as well. And where is yellow almost dead? Apparently sent home because of, yeah, worries about extra wolfies and potentially some extra villagers. And it seems that basically right now Mateus is gonna be the lord of the passages. As he's gonna be commanding everybody, you shall not pass, and he's gonna be commanding all the walling in the middle quite nicely, even though it's of course costing him plenty of idle economy. I think that on Black Forest it really pays off, because it's gonna be giving you quite a good control of the choke points, which is kind of exactly what Black Forest is all about. So you can see he's moving forward, and is he like gonna be even attempting some kind of trash or whatever nonsense? Can you see where he's actually moving? It is almost looking like some kind of advance on trash. Let's switch into Shark Slayer. He's not advancing. I'm not entirely certain if the spectator overlay is gonna be working correctly for us, but barracks are coming up. Yeah, this is gonna be some kind of total nonsense, total non-Black Forest nonsense. You're gonna be looking at barracks already. So Drush in your base, if he's gonna be able to finish, because of course this is a nice reaction by Dark Device, who's not having any kind of nonsense like that, but with the villager protecting himself through some very nice quick walling, it could be probably working. That he's gonna be finishing with the barracks, and that's already gonna be disrupting the gameplay of Dark Device quite significantly, but he's at least able to actually keep those villagers out. That's quite significant, because it means that basically those 3 villagers are gonna be completely useless. You can see he's finished with the walling on the left side. There was a bit of a fight for the walling with the other villager. But those three are right now idle. He's having 24 villagers, that's nice. But basically 3 of them are right now idle. So even though he was able to kill a few extra villagers from Dark Device, right about now I'm thinking this is not that great. He's gonna be slowing down the economy through the militias, but it's not like actually villagers couldn't take on militias one-on-one. They definitely can, especially if they are having the numbers, and with the help of Zing, it's gonna be disrupting the time in there a bit, especially since he has just now advanced into the fuel age, so he's getting a bonus on the attack. You can see already the +2 in there being given to him, but the villagers have been right now able to push through the wall, which is, I think, slight problem, because Dark Device maybe should have repaired that. Well, maybe he definitely should have repaired that. That's a mistake on his part in there. But still, the villagers are fighting against plenty of militias, and is he actually making a few more of them? I'm not certain. He's so far not even advancing into the fuel age. You can see he's putting absolutely everything, and he's back behind actually this kind of attack, as he's gonna be probably walled in. Yeah, he should be able to finish with the wall there, right? He's right now, poor guy, is finishing there. Now he's getting out, and well, still militias present, and Dark Device also having plenty of idle economy. So the same as Snake Slayer was having idle villages, this is of course right now true for Dark Device, maybe even a bit more. And that's of course leading him to be kinda inefficient. You can see he's at 24 villages, whereas Snake Slayer is already at 27. So yeah, even the early echo is definitely going better for the green player, even through all of those early shenanigans. So this is really unusual. Unusual Black Forest all around. Definitely good way by STBs to actually somehow take wind out of the sails of RFR, who were kind of hoping that this home map could be helping them. But yeah, well, not really anymore, as we're also looking at a bit of scouting, or rather scouting Kanala trying to help with the scout to his teammate, as it seems like it might really be needed, because of course the militias are still coming up, and it seems that that is something that actually Snake Slayer will be quite happy about, and with. I'm not all that certain if he's actually gonna be winning condition for him or not, because of course, even though he's giving time to his teammates to actually boom up to Zing and Spring, it's kind of the same also for Kanala and of course his teammate the healer, aka the Bullet, so I'm not entirely certain if it's gonna be anything all that significant. It's just gonna be interesting gameplay in the early game between those 2 players. You can see he has already docked this part of the water as well. Yeah, he's having 3 fishes in there, so it seems like it could be worth it. And he might be even wanted to actually make a boat in here. I kinda think it could be useful to make at least 1 war galley if he's having the resources. Let's switch into Dark Device. Not really. Not really just about now, so his economy is not really in good shape. But with all the militias coming up, we are probably... Yeah, the overlay is all over the place. You can see building his first dock, with the dock already being in there. So somehow it's actually not catching correctly today. It's some kind of bug or whatnot with the user patch the latest version. Not really sure, but it's kind of weird. And it seems like we will have to rely on our own actually observation of the game. Well then, plenty of walling still coming up. From both players, you can see that Green Villager is still alive. It's actually the very last one, it seems like. Yeah, if I see things correctly, it should be the last one, and not anymore. So the Green Villagers are finally gone. And are there some extras coming up? Apparently not. They're gonna be content in actually the Green's base. And that basically means that those double barracks in here are gonna be exactly what's gonna be remaining in here. And we're probably gonna be waiting for the fuel age from, of course, Guinea player, from Snake player, or rather Snake Slayer, but it doesn't seem to be coming at all. So it's gonna be who's actually gonna be faster from the teammates to help. Apparently it's gonna be the healer, already sending the knights. Already coming in here with all of those extra hit points and basically the technological advantage. Right now, this is a very rare sight. You can actually see a Castle Age unit fighting against a Dark Age unit, with the player still being in the Dark Age. Snake Slayer still in the Dark Age. So this is a matchup you don't see very often at all. So kinda enjoy that and enjoy the ass kicking that actually Mateus is right now gonna be receiving. But, well, at the bottom we are seeing quite an interesting development as well, as apparently Kanala has already dropped the castle, and there is plenty of palisade foundations being made, so that basically he can somehow spy what's going to happen and what his opponent is actually gonna be doing there. But, well, it's not like it's any kind of surprise, it's Spanish, so you would be expecting a castle for Conquistadors, some siege workshop of course as well, and apparently the counterplay is gonna be plenty of monks coming up from Spring, who is the Cell player, and well, let's see if that's gonna be working for him. It definitely could be, because monks are of course definite counter to Conquistadors, as at the top we are still looking at some kind of last fights, but not really anything all that interesting and all that brutal that should be happening from now. It's just probably gonna be trying to palisade wall around the double barracks, basically denying any kind of extra opportunities to him and basically control them fully. As well, that's gonna be it, and there's apparently gonna be even raiding into the middle, and oh well, somebody forgot to wall here. Somebody forgot to wall a bit before, or rather a bit before displacement. And that's actually gonna be a significant issue right now, because of course Steel, or rather Purple, was already moving forward, probably trying to drop, I don't know, Siege Workshop, maybe Castle, maybe whatever. But he was got up with, and the healer is gonna be right now controlling the middle of the map. One wall finished, but he should be also moving forward, because he kinda needs to keep this open, and if he can keep this open, then there's gonna be pretty good opportunity to get into the middle of the enemy. And, well, that usually leads to pretty big disasters in Black Forest. So we're having a bit of a pause, and finally, Fuel Age coming from Snake Slayer at 20 minutes 52. Yep, that's a fuel time. As even yellow is not even advancing yet, so it's gonna be even later into the fuel age from him. As well, a bit of walling still coming up, some second row of walls from Dark Device, as he's just trying to make sure that he is controlling his side of the map as much as he can. So the pause is right now wearing off. Players are gonna be continuing, as this knight is gonna be probably trying to kill the barracks for the remainder of the game, and the second one as well, as we are also looking at the town center being finished right next to plenty of bars. That could be actually quite a nice bonus, even still here. And now at 20 minutes game time, but much more importantly, this is gonna be helping with some kind of map control, getting the wood line, potentially the gold a bit later, but yeah, mainly the map control in there. Otherwise, one coming up in the middle, as in here the knights are through, and there should be plenty more knights actually being sent in by the healer. This is a golden opportunity for them, so just basically spam the horses and go there, because if you can continue with this and be disruptive to the pocket player, especially into Zinc, then, well, you could be basically buying yourself and your team quite plenty of time to develop yourself further. Alright, so Castle Ages are gonna be hitting as well. You can see they already are for all the players in here, as this is still kinda open, and kinda surprised that Zinc is not trying to actually pull or rather plug the hole. He definitely should be, as unfortunately Bullet is not paying enough attention. Gonna be losing the knight kinda needlessly, even though he did kill a few villagers, I think about 2 or 3. Not bad, definitely could have been better, but I'm so sorely missing. Few more knights in here, as definitely about making 5, maybe even up to 10, and just sending them through. That would be making such a big difference, as that would be very deadly raiding overall. Otherwise, of course, the way is right now clean at the top. Unfortunately for, of course, Steel, there are plenty of monks waiting, with, of course, a mangonel as well. So that seems like a pretty decent defense. Pretty decent defense overall, so there's not really any kind of coming through for Kanala just now. He needs to be advancing into Imperial Age quite a lot sooner before he attempts any kind of significant attack against Spring. Otherwise, the economies, for example, Spring 61, 65 for Zing, Snake Slayer aka Mateus 44. For the opponents, Dark Device 35. But yeah, kind of Snake Slayer and Dark Device are more or less irrelevant in this game as the healer 72, Kanala 54. So the economies are kind of similar, but slightly stronger for STB. And yet again, that seems like the theme also from the last game. So of course, RFR should be careful about that and should be trying to boom a whole lot faster and a whole lot more effectively than they so far are. Well, apparently there is still some kind of fight to be had, as Snake Slayer is not giving up on his barracks, even switching into some kind of man-at-arms and a spearman, so trying to be as annoying as possible. But with the stone walls being in there, it's not really that much of an issue, and well, potentially he will have some kind of opportunity exactly with the villager coming forward. And maybe what is he actually gonna be making as a Spanish? He could be even trying to drop a castle about. He could fit here. I think he could fit here because he can delete those 3 palisades. So he can probably fit the castle exactly there. It's gonna be kind of problematic because of the galleys, but not really all that major problem. Not really that major problem overall. But of course, green needs to be taking care of that. And oh well, come on, yellow, careful. That's so many resources lost in there into both. That definitely should have been avoided. But yeah, well, it wasn't, as the ball is exactly gonna be what he's actually aiming for. So that's a bit of a surprise. I was thinking he might be a bit more adventurous, but apparently not so much. Not so much. But maybe he's gonna be dropping a castle bar there. Still could be some kind of opportunity for him. Otherwise, in the middle, finally the hole is going plugged by Xing. Definitely could have been a whole lot more punished by Bullet. That's just a huge mistake that wasn't taken. That opportunity wasn't taken. But well, yeah, what can you do? Right now, as of course the monk is gonna be coming for the relics, collecting them from across the map. And well, then it's gonna be plenty of extra gold income for, of course, his late game. Otherwise, he's having still plenty monks and plenty mangonels getting basically ready for anything that the teal player could be sending against him, as the teal is gonna be moving forward to help his teammate with the Conquistadors, trying to help against all of those men-at-arms, together with at least the 1 spearman in there. So castle age hit for Snake Slayer, as Dark Device is already in the castle as well. He was jumping just a bit more efficiently than the green player. As we are waiting for what's gonna happen next, which so far is not entirely clear in here. You can basically look at Castle Rock by Snake Slayer. Definitely makes plenty of sense, and it's gonna be denying this wood line, but nothing more than that. It's just gonna be, yeah, a bit of map control and of the choke point, which is not really all that major problem for him just now. Looking at the economies yet again, 45, 19, 109, 42, 87, 104. So the economies are actually getting kinda equaler. So RFR are catching up, which is good news for the game and for us, as it should be still making for quite a good battle on our hands. As well at the bottom, still nothing really all that much happening, as there is no way that Kanala could be fighting against all this army from Spring that is ready there. Otherwise, of course, we should be expecting plenty of advances into Imperial Ages in reasonable timing. Of course, not from Dark Device, who is still forced to fight a bit at the top, trying to get rid of the barracks in there, together with, right now, being forced off the castle. But of course, I'm kinda interested in how, of course, the market routes are gonna be coming up. First Imperial Age apparently from Bullet. That's a nice bonus for RFR, switch of the momentum in here, from the advantage of STB into RFRs. And where is gonna be the best trade route? Potentially from here, I'm thinking. Yeah, it's looking like that from this position, right next to the Wolfie, and all the way about here. Yeah, next to the pond. It seems like a pretty good trade route in there. It might be coming not through here, because there's the wall, so that's nicely played. But they will probably be coming either through the road, or maybe they could be trying to wind their way through the beach in there. That would be absolutely deadly. So he might want to put a wall in there just to make sure that the trade cards are not choosing the suboptimal way. Well, green is gonna be continuing still with some kind of annoyance apparently, as he's even using petards to get through the wall in, but he's of course not gonna be fast enough, as apparently Dark Device has noticed. He does a very nice natural wall in on the left side, Spring advancing into Imperial Age in the meantime, but the double wall in here is gonna be finished in time, it seems like, even before the Conquistadors join the fun and kill at least a few villages in there. Xing, another player into Imperial Age. So even though the first Imperial Age was coming for a healer, right now STs are coming up, as they are already two, and I'm gonna be switching into Kanala, who is also gonna be in the Imperial Age just about now. So everybody getting ready with, of course, even some kind of trebuchet, and even more monks actually being sent in by Xing. This is kind of interesting choice. Interesting choice indeed. The civilizations, they are the same, so it's gonna be all about the proper the proper timings, proper execution, and, well, of course, you can already see the onagers getting ready for the Celt, and we're gonna be waiting for siege onagers as well in no time. Well, so what's actually Teal gonna do against that? Apparently plenty of horses of the Spanish, definitely makes sense that he's gonna be producing plenty of paladins, but of course the monks are gonna be quite a good counter unit to that. So maybe quite interesting moments coming for Canala. As at the top side, well, plenty of petards still coming up, trying to push through the double wall in there. But of course, with the upgrade into fortified wall, it's gonna be taking plenty more of them. But it seems that Mateus is quite content actually producing more and more, especially since he's gonna be pushing with another castle, which is gonna be giving him extra capabilities and, much more importantly, extra map control on this side. So, that's plenty of balls from both sides. So apparently they're not gonna be coming through the middle anytime soon. Steel is coming back home so that he can basically concentrate on his opponent, who is already assaulting the castle. That is gonna be just now coming down. But is he having any kind of chance of actually pushing through? Well, he definitely has. He's already going to be probably doing that very soon with the trebuchets, or maybe even just siege onagers. They definitely should be coming up, as they are gonna be supported also by the Mongol, by Zing, who is sending his Mongolites to the bottom side. So definitely there's gonna be needed some help, as the wall apparently wasn't fast enough. And Kanala, well, he should be probably already falling back, trying to build the wall here, and then some kind of quick wall in there, because otherwise he's not gonna be all that ready for what all is going to come, as Blue will have to help him as well. He already is switching to the bottom with Siege Workshop and probably even some castles sometime soon, but in the meantime he did build the first ones in the middle, trying to help his teammate at the top, but yep, he will have to help at the bottom a bit sooner, I'm thinking, because so far Dark Levi seems to be doing a pretty decent job, somehow at least slowing down his opponent, and that will give enough time to actually Blue to help at the bottom, and then a bit later to the top, I'm thinking. In the meantime, siege onagers are done, so that's gonna be, of course, helping in cutting through all of the trees in there, which is exactly what is right now going on. Going to be securing the gold mine, and much more importantly, just cutting through and making sure that he does have some kind of good way into the enemy base. But it seems like that this was apparently only because of the gold. Yeah, he was just making space around. So there's gonna be another castle. This time it's gonna be for the red player, for the Celt, so that he can produce a few more bow traders to basically complement his economy, or rather his military in there. But I would be really expecting from the Celt, of course, plenty of barracks for potential halberdiers, which is exactly gonna be needed once they see that the paladins are gonna be unit of choice for the teal player, and the horses for him. So where are they right now? So far they are not really anywhere. Right now they are about at the bottom. Yeah, dealing with at least a few Mongols that got through finally. As we are looking at the economies, for example, at 133 and 83 for ST for the opponents. It's, wow, 160. 160 for the healer, for Bullet. 122 for Kanala, 87 for Dark Device. So the economies are actually better. For RFR. But they are right now forced to somehow survive the early push, because if they cannot survive it, then, well, the economy is not gonna be coming into play all that much. But it seems like that actually the help from the healer is gonna be significant enough. He already seems to be nicely upgraded, just waiting for oranges apparently. Yes, having just normal mangonels, but with, of course, the trebuchets and whatnot, he is going to be pushing back, helping his teammate Dark Device stabilizing the situation, as at the bottom he's, of course, gonna be helping as well as soon as possible. But this was quite a sad engagement, of course, by Kanala, which didn't make any kind of sense whatsoever, as not only has he been under fire of so many Mangurais, but also under conversion, of course, of so many Celtic monks. Well, he lost basically just one to conversion, so it's not really all that bad. But with the Mangurais coming up, it's going to be elite Mangurais fully upgraded, but from purple as well. It's gonna be yet again kind of unfortunate fight, and all those lost cavaliers, that was some kind of bad miscommunication actually by RFRs, and it might be just costing the game, because that's gonna be very hard for it to actually make up. That's gonna be very hard indeed, and it doesn't even seem like that actually they could be having a kind of significant defense even through the very good economy that they're having, because Steel is kinda incapable of producing enough units. But oh, this was a bad mistake right now, but actually ST, because Zing just get too ahead of himself, trying to stop the castle. That's definitely a good idea, killing the economy, but he also completely exposed all of those guys. But unfortunately there were some very good shots by the onagers, killing all of those cavaliers. You can see so many died in basically one salve in there, so that wasn't something that actually Teal wanted. And oh well, That could have been such a great opportunity for him. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but still Spring needs to be taking care of the friendly fire. Oh, well. Oh well, poor guys. Poor guys in there. Definitely killing plenty of his own siege works. That is not really all that great. But, oh, that's gonna be 3. Oh, man. Spring, what are you doing? You just killed like about half of your siege onagers. Well, you did kill the horses, that's good. But, well, was it really worth it? Oh well, not entirely certain all that much. But anyway, Dark Device is already through right now into the Imperial Age as well, so he can release at least some kind of part of the army for the healer, so that he can be having a few more at the bottom. But also, the damage to the economy to Canal wasn't so far that huge. He's already at 119 back, but still he's not having any kind of extra horses to deal with this just about now. He's having a few of them that should be helping. Already some onagers being upgraded by the Mongol player, advancing ever forward in there, but in the middle we don't see anything all that interesting. Just Yellow finally getting rid of the last barracks from the green player in there and producing some military himself, hoping to get forward, and of course that should be really working for him. Apparently Zink is also having Mangurais at the top, sending them there to help the teammate so that somehow they can stabilize the situation and slow it down. And this is actually kind of tricky, because you can see how close this is to the economy of the green player, and this is basically his last line of defense. And it could be basically even cut through by some onagers. So once this is through, green is gonna be wide open, and I'm not entirely certain he's actually ready for any kind of engagement like that. Let's switch to the bottom battlefield. That is so far quite a lot more important, as the one at the top is just developing, and that means that those base stables are not really in any kind of good placement, and basically the healer is everything that stands between total disaster for RFR and staying alive, of course. So that's what he's right now trying to do. So right now he should be sending about half of them to kill all of those onagers, I'm thinking. It would be working really well for him, but he's already having onagers himself and sending them plenty of them there. So hoping for some good shots, but it might be just a bit too late. So of course Steel is going to be rebuilding somewhere at the back. It seems like that he's slowly but surely basically abandoning the base. But is it going to be working in the long run? Not certain, because of course he's going to be losing plenty of economy, and it's going to be costing him so many resources to actually rebuild so many farms. So not really certain he's gonna be having enough actually to deal with that, and it might be up to actually Yellow to somehow push forward through this position and really help his team quite more significantly than so far he is doing. Well then, this is just slowly getting through the walls, apparently attempting to build up some kind of halberdiers with onagers. Not a bad combination at all, as of course horses are gonna be also the second unit of choice for Snake Slayer, aka Mateus, so of course he's gonna be switching into the Paladins to help his team as well, as we are looking at some onagers getting some good shots into the Mangurais of the blue player, but they need to be careful of course about the onagers of the opponents as well. So they are coming forward, as of course the base of Teal is getting kinda leveled one by one. This is actually a very nice spam by Spring, and with the villagers coming forward trying to steal the gold, and probably a bit later trying to build even the castles somewhere in the middle of the enemy base. This is basically kind of total domination at the bottom, as it seems that the combination of the Mongol Spring and the Celt Spring is gonna be quite good enough for all of this, especially since they're having siege onagers and they can cut through the forest right into the heart of Blue's base, and that's gonna be a problem number 2 and much more significant one. Already switching into some kind of skirmishers to help with the Mangurais apparently. Not a bad idea, but is it gonna be enough? Not really certain, but they are definitely missing all the horses that should be really present from Kanala, but unfortunately he wasn't able to defend himself long enough. And maybe he just didn't receive the help from his pocket players fast enough. That's also kinda true. And it seems that he's gonna be not present in the game for at least the next minutes in here. In the meantime, of course, onagers are very much present already by Dark Device, who's trying to push forward. But the Paladins are there, and that's gonna be a significant power spike right now coming up for, of course, STB. And they're gonna be probably having not that much of a problem against all those halberdiers with the combination of some Mangurais, if they are actually gonna be coming up, because I'm not all that certain about that. It seems like that Zing might have sent all of the units basically back home and back to the bottom, so that seems like exactly the case. And oh well, some hits could be in here. Yeah, they're not really killing all that many halberdiers there, they're killing exactly the horses, so that's very nice maneuvering with all of them. And you can see that the Paladins are dying like flies right now, so very well played, very nice micro in there through the onagers by Dark Device. But let's have a look somewhere else, like at the bottom, where of course the Teal base is completely lost, and Yep, that's gonna be quite costly rebuilding right there. But of course, you mustn't forget the paladins are gonna be apparently at the bottom as well, as Green has rebuilt himself in there also. So right now, this is gonna be full-on army of all three STBs, all three combinations. You can see Mango Dice, Paladins, Siege Managers in there, and well, good luck dealing with that, because right now it's up to only healer. And his combination of Mango Dice with some Hussars and Elite Skirmishers is most probably not gonna be enough, because he just doesn't have enough to deal with more or less 3 opponents at once. It's just not gonna be working, as it doesn't seem like the deal should be joining into the fun anytime soon. And yep, it's gonna be called GG. So not even the home map is gonna be helping RFRs. And STB are gonna be taking the match 2-0. So congratulations, well played. And we have seen a bit different, of course, Black Forest. The early fight and the long dark ages between Dark Levi's and Snake Slayer aka Mateus, that was quite unusual and interesting. But well, then the booms were kinda equal. And RFRs just kinda missed the opportunity. It seems like they had huge opportunity in the middle. And there was the open door for basically the healer to build like 5 knights, maybe even up to 10, and move forward and basically absolutely wreck the economy. I think that was potential to win the game right there. That was just a huge mistake by RFR not to take it, especially since they knew about it. That's just some things you just can't explain for some reason. But well, they opted for a bit longer game, which didn't really look all that bad, but the push by Spring with Zing was just kinda too fast, it seemed like, for Kanala and the healer. And healer, unfortunately, even though he was, I mean, strongest boom in the game, such strong boom into 160 villages, much better than the opponents, he unfortunately wasn't ready to actually lend assistance fast enough. And well, it was probably because he was trying to help his teammate at the top quite a bit, or rather faster. He didn't expect the push through the bottom that soon, and unfortunately it backfired and led to very nice play by ST, Spring and Zing to push forward, and with the final help by Mateus. But well, Spring definitely could be improving his control of onagers, definitely good. He was basically like half of the losses of his onagers were by his own hand. So could have been a bit more careful in there, but well, it was kind of still worth it. He was having plenty of them, he could spare them, and he at the same time did kill the horses of the enemy, so it was worth it in the end. But yeah, kind of painful to watch at moments in there. Anyway, let's check the achievements. That's gonna be Spring as the highest score, together with Zing. They're apparently that far behind from each other, and the healer very close by as well. And yeah, those definitely were the most important players in the game. Those definitely were. You can see plenty of sling in there from actually Spring and Zing into Slayer to help him get back on his feet, which just basically speaks to how well they were playing, because they were slinging so many resources into Snake Slayer to get him back. And the opponents, they didn't even sling. And they were still having problems with dealing with them, and they couldn't in the end. But also speaks highly to Dark Levi's, because Dark Levi's was doing a pretty good job holding Snake Slayer and then getting back at him. Even though he did receive a bit of assistance from healer, it wasn't anything like 20,000 resources, so nice comeback by Dark Levi's in there. Unfortunately, it just wasn't kind of fast enough. Yeah, well, that happens. Good advances, just still kind of wasn't fast enough. I'm still kind of confused. How is it possible that healer wasn't really much stronger in the game than we have seen, because he was having such a strong economy. You can see he was at 160 and quite soon in the game, quite soon into the late game. So he should have been really quite more dominant than Zing, and somehow he wasn't. Not sure what went wrong. Not sure really what went wrong in there. But well, GG.